Hi, my name is Eric Wilson. I'm an independent licensed mechanic. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee so you can make yourself an informed decision. Okay, coming in on the front right tire, you got about 60% tread on all season radio, so down a little bit, but definitely not out. Coming in behind the front right tire, first I want to point out, this is the most critical thing in the whole car. It's the outer tie rod, and it goes from here to here, and it's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering. It is tight. This is the lower ball joint. This is critical as well because it holds the wheel to the chassis, so it is tight as well. So suspension-wise, steering-wise, so good. So far, so good. This is from here to here. Is the sway bar link connected to this bar right here. Now that controls the sway when you go around a corner. Now this rubber boot here is full of grease. It's called the outer CV, and if it was ripped, you'd see grease all over the place. Important it's not, because that grease lubricates the CV axle, which keeps you going forward. Now here is, okay, yeah, just another shot of the back. Yeah, just another shot. Now the inside CV boot, a little harder to see. But see, you can see for yourself, good and dry. That's important. Now this is the right front strut. Now it's full of oil, and if it was leaking, you see oil dripping all the way down there. And see for yourself, good and dry. So that's important. Now this is your upper ball joint on the right side, and that's critical as well because it holds the wheel to the chassis, and it is good and dry. Pardon me, that is good. That joint is good and tight. You've got air suspension in this vehicle, which is really kind of handy because it adjusts the air. You can have it stiff, you can have it loose. It's up to you, and you can adjust it up and down. So that is working and doing its job. Okay, front brakes. You got about 20,000 K left in your front brakes. Okay, now coming back to the right rear tire, I'm going to say you need a set of pads on the rear brakes because they're not out, but they're definitely down. So I would recommend a set of brake pads. The rotors are fine, but the pads need to be changed up. So you're going to have some fresh pads. So you got about like 5,000 K left on the rear brakes, but I would definitely recommend you change them up. Now the right rear tire, again, about 70% of all season radio, so definitely got some good meat left for the winter time there. Now your outer CV boot right here, a little harder to see. That rubber boot is the outer CV boot, same as the front, full of grease. If it was ripped, you see it all over the place. Important to keep the axle going dry, keeps the axle moving forward. Now this is your lower ball joint here on the rear, and that is tight. The inner CV boot, a little harder to see there, but just give you a quick shot. Hang on here. Yeah, there you are. See that inner CV boot, good and dry. More importantly, this is the rear diff right here. Now this is the leak point. If it was going to be leaking, you see it leaking all around here. This is good and dry on the rear diff, so no leaks on your driveway so far, which is good. Okay, this is the right rear sway bar link connected from there down to right there. And again, controls the sway when it go around a corner, and that's connected, doing its job. Your exhaust system is good. Dual exhaust. You got yourself a good size hitch on here. 7-point. Yeah, you got the 2-inch hitch and the or 3-inch hitch, I guess. I'm not sure. Anyway, you got the heavy hitch with the 7-pin connector, so you definitely got some good pulling power here. Okay, coming into the left front tire again, this is your air suspension right here, and that's doing its job. This is your left upper ball joint. It is tight. Brakes, you got about 20,000 K on your front brakes. So yeah, lots of good brakes left in your front brakes. Your tires are about 60 to 70%. About same about all the way around. Definitely down a little bit, but definitely not out. The coming behind the left sway bar link connected from there to there, doing its job. Left outer CV boot, again, good and dry. The left lower ball joint is tight. The left outer tie rod, again, critical. The only thing that holds the wheel to the steering. It is tight. The left CV, okay, the inner CV boot, a little harder to see, but you can see good and dry. I don't see any leaks, oil leaks, grease of any kind on this car, so good sign. Nobody wants oil in the driveway. Another important thing, your seat, if you follow that tube down, again, full of oil. That's the shock. If it was leaking, you'd see it right away. So good and dry and doing its job. Okay, coming to the left rear tire. Again, instead of brake pads, rotors are fine. The brake pads, definitely change them up there. So that's cheap. That's like a maybe $200 job altogether there. And okay, so your rear left tire, just about, yeah, like about 60 to 70% tread. Definitely lots of tread for the winter time. Your follow your shock up there. That tube is full of oil. If it was leaking, you'd see it right away. The sway bar connector from there connected to there, doing its job. Outer CV boot, see for yourself, a little harder to see. Good and dry. Inner CV boot, good and dry. So I'm not seeing anything of any concern so far. Okay, with the motor running. All right. Okay, shot of the exhaust with the motor running. Very, very clear. Okay, I am not hearing anything of any concern with the motor. Now, the one thing I always do is take off the oil cap here, and I look underneath for any kind of white goo or any kind of sludge, and I don't see any sludge in there at all. Oil's clean, it's been well maintained as far as I can tell, and so as far as I'm concerned, other than a set of rear pads so far, I don't see anything of any concern. Okay, with the motor running, you've got 156, 671. You do have an ABS light on, and I believe that's something to do, what I did, I checked it out, I think it's something to do with the steering wheel, the clock spring and the steering wheel that needs to be adjusted. So I'm not exactly sure what it's going to take for that to go away, but just so that you're aware of it, that is something that needs to be addressed as well. So yeah, so other than this ABS light that needs to be dealt with, I don't see any other problem with the car, but hopefully this will help you make an informed decision whether this is for you or not. Now, if this vehicle is not what you're interested in, by all means let me know what you're looking for, because I will do this I'll do this inside story on any vehicle you're interested at all. No cost, no obligation, because that's what I do. Now, in addition to that, if you buy this vehicle, come to me, because I'm going to give you a free 10% fuel saving device that I've used for 20 years. It never fails, and it saves 10% consistently as long as you have it on, and that's free, no obligation. Or let me know what you're looking for, because you can buy safe with Eric. Thank you.